In 2017, we got an invite to a small community in the Isheri area of Lagos, where residents felt they were being oppressed by their neighbors in Magodo GRA. Well, years down the line, the case resurfaces. The people in the community feel they are being ignored and unfairly dealt with. They voice their pains and want the government to ensure their neighbors comply with the directive to set up embankments behind their property. The Otun River rises as rainfall increases. Communities along its bank are not at ease based on past experiences with flood. One of such community is Otun Araromi in the Isheri area of Lagos State, a neighborhood of Magodo GRA. Their concern this time around does not stem from the water from Otun River, but the one from their neighbors meant to be channeled to the river but left halfway. This is worsened by the topography of the area, which puts the residents at the mercy of their neighbors. According to one of them, this has caused them untold hardship.
Whenever it rains, I feel sad because I'm not at peace when rain starts like this. You can see behind me, very big pipe there. When rain starts, the rate of our water gushes out there is alarming. I think you can see my building, this is my building here. If you can see left and right, if not that I'm really serious about it, it could have been washed out by the gully. So all these people, they challenge their gutter or water to this area. So you can see all this area being washed away by water. So if government can help us to talk to them so that can rectify it. If not so, because of the effort of the community, that can be another thing entirely. We have been inviting them to come and see what is going on, but no response. That if engineers can come with them, it can tell them how they can charge the water to the lagoon.
In the last 5 years, 9 members of 2 families have lost their lives as a result of landslide and subsequent building collapse. The people are afraid that this could continue.
2015, a big queue up there fell and damaged this man's house, which is called Ekoseye, and killed 4 children. After that, the government asked the estate people to do their embankment. They didn't. Now, another one recently, a house again at that same up fair broke into the next house, killed 4 children. Then, because they refused to do their embankment, now so many of them are doing their embankment now. They are channeling water to us. They will do their embankment, they will channel their water to our road. Now we have no roads. There's no road to pass. We are supposed to channel it to the river. They will channel it from up to our walking road. They will stop there. Please, we are begging the government. They should come into this. Come and look into it. Whether they are right, it's right thing for them to do or not.
He said for my wife, I know
what happened from where?
For some reasons, we couldn't tell why some members of the community didn't buy into our presence here. One of them decides to harass us.
This community, we don't go for government. Government don't leave us here. Then these people where they up, they don't say make them go and do embankment. So we not get any problem with the people where they up again. Now let this place, this one they happen.
However, Mr. Fred Igbenson, one of those largely displeased by the situation of things in the community, draws our attention to some project already being done by the Magodo residents, which he claims are being executed haphazardly.
They came in with caterpillar, damaged my personal property, damaged the cover that the community did. I invited so many of them, pleaded with so many of them. I called a lawyer that lives up there to help us to see what they will do, following that the government directive is that they must do the embankment and make sure they channel the water to where the water is supposed to go. But they do this why they're doing this embankment, they're channeling this water to people's properties. It has damaged so many people's properties. Once it rains, women and children cannot go out. The force of this erosion has carried our security man called Omo Niger before. It was because of covert collection that stopped the rain, the erosion from taking him into the river. Now, we've not been able to get video of the effect of the erosion. But once it rains, no woman, no child will go out. Otherwise, they will get lost in the erosion. So, because of the force of the water they've channeled, the community has spent over 5.5 million that we have record of on doing the culvert, doing the first gutter when erosion wanted to cut the road, and channeling this as far as we can get it now to the river. It's not finished. And the one here now at the end of this zone, they channeled another serious erosion into it. We have asked them to do a gutter from where they channeled it into another gutter and channel the gutter into the sea. That's all we are asking. But nobody wants to listen to us. We are pleading to the federal government, Ikosofe local government. We are pleading to Lagos State, especially Minister of Housing and Works, to come and assist us. We are people. We are not slaves in this country.
A resident of Magodo GRA, Chris Elujulo, soon joins us to state his side of the story.
I'm not building it.
At the time of our visit, he was carrying out an embankment project on his property, which he claims should have started since March, but delayed due to the COVID lockdown. He first gives clarity to the bone of contention.
The problem of this place started long ago. This land you are looking at from the top of the hill there, slope from that place towards the river. But they started excavating it up to where you are looking at it today. They now build on it. It didn't stop there. Initially, you can't find any house at the back of the gorge before. But they started selling the place also, and they started building on it. So when it continued, something horrible happened some 6 years ago. One of the house that is standing, because they've excavated the root, the fence collapsed and killed 5 people. When that happened, we were summoned to House of Assembly. I mean, the people upstairs, based on the information they got there, that in the first place, we don't even have paper. We don't have document. We are encroaching to the land. So we were summoned. We appeared before 5-man ad hoc committee, and we presented all our papers. In fact, they were surprised because it was contrary to the information they got. So they now came down. They marked all the houses, especially the one at the back of the gorge, asking them to relocate. But I don't know what happened to the government. Nothing happened until the one of last year happened again. And they started marking their house there. We were looking from the up. So one of the officials said they are still coming up to come and mark. For what? We went to the commissioner for physical planning. Now when this thing happened 4 or 5 years ago, you invited us. And we presented our document. The man said we should present another document. So we presented another document and gave it to him. So when they look at the document, they discovered the document are genuine. But 4 years ago, they persuaded us to try and do embankment. Those houses who are so threatened did embankment. For example, I didn't do embankment because you can see my house from far off. It's very, very far from the gorge. So when the one of last year happened, and they were calling for bring this, bring that, we packaged it as usual. We took it to Labska in Koshofe, and they asked us to go and deposit at Obakin Jobi. We took it there. They wrote another letter. They even see some of the houses there that they didn't respond to their request. My house was not sealed in fairness to them. But they wrote a letter that they asked me to do, do an embankment. I repeated the same thing. I come and look at my house. It's far from the gorge. And besides, to God be the glory, I was able to prevent people from excavating the land and build at the back. So my house is not threatening in any way. But they insisted. They wrote another letter. So I did an undertaking that they should give me up to March this year to start the embankment. What we want to do is this wall and another one up there with a pillar going as deep as 20 feet. Then a slab. That's what I'm doing there. Many people in this community thought, I want to build a house. I'm not building a house. By the time I finish, they will see what I'm doing. It's a slab I want to do. And concerning the gutter, I'm going to run a pipe. Unfortunately, the topography of this land differ from one house or the other. I'm so lucky, I was able to channel my water to the front of the house. But ordinarily speaking, I will not want the community to rely solely until water begin to, carry their houses or do whatever. Let them meet on their own, but I will talk to the people there. Let's see how we can collaborate and see how this water thing can be resolved.
While some of the residents have complied with the state government's directive to set up embankment and have also properly channeled their water to the river, a lot more need to see the light in the directive, which could save their property and put their neighbors at ease. For now, both parties may need to sit on a round table, iron out this area of conflict, and work out the answers to their questions. Whatever you give to your environment, it gives back to you in return. That's the position of environment experts. Exactly what Professor Timothy Nubi speaks on in this interview as the era of flooding returns. Join us.
While various communities in the country continue to suffer the effect of flooding, irrespective of location as the rains pour, environmental experts are also concerned about how people treat the environment, which appears to be biting back. A professor of estate management, University of Lagos, Nigeria, Timothy Nubi, is one of such who believes we may have all collectively impacted the environment negatively.
Let's go back to the urban plan, the master plan generally, that have allocated areas as green belts, water catchment areas. We can't build on our water catchment area and be praying for safety. No amount of prayer in churches and mosques can avert it. Between my two and Agric, Owutu, all of them, in the master plan of Lagos, 1980, supposed to be green area, water catchment area. We also have water catchment area in some places around Otun and some selected places like that. They are floodplain. They are natural water bodies. A water floodplain. When it rains and the volume is high, this retains the water and releases it into the sea gradually. But when you build up the water catchment area and the water have to find its way within a short time after heavy rainfall, it will be disastrous. And that's what we're experiencing here and there. Not only to build drainage, we make sure we clean it. Go between this first gate and Owodoshoki. You see them come once or twice in a year. They will remove the sand and the sachet of pure water that fill the drainage. They put it on the side of the road. I've never seen them carted them away. They find themselves their way back after 2 or 3 rains. And they say, which country do they do such? And they will say, flood will not destroy their properties. So let's finish the channels, both the primary and the collector channels, the primary ones, the major ones. They are in different categories, depends on the size of the streets. Let's make sure we have those network. and where people have built illegally, don't spare them, no matter whom they are.
Based on the NIMET prediction for 2020, extreme weather conditions should be expected, and therefore government and individuals should be proactive by putting in place measures that will guarantee ecological balance.